What is going on, everybody? Terrific Tuesday. Great morning. Happy to be here. I'm more than happy to be with you. I'm grateful to be here with you every day, all of you. Litecoin on the move this morning also, not just Cardano. Litecoin also on the move. Both up 8-9% today. Beautiful to see crypto being crypto over here at this particular time of the cycle. It is always a blessing to be here with you, this wonderful, absolutely phenomenal community that we share together. And I'm grateful for each and every moment. You make me a better person. You bring a lot of light and joy to my life. And I just want to thank you this morning over here. Let's have some fun. It's Taco Tuesday. Let's have some fun and take a look at the markets. By the way, we're going to play over here the Conquering Trading and Investing theme song by Hedge over here, since it's Taco Tuesday over there. We'll get to that a little bit later and have some fun. Yesterday we had fun with a little bit of meme play in the afternoon. That was beautiful. We're going to start off with the S&P 500. We got 638 people in here already. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. Looking forward to sharing this time together right now today. Thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for smashing the like button. Is it over for Silver Bull? Right, we should talk about the elephant in the room first. I have a lot prepared that I want to talk about when it comes to silver. A lot. I want to talk about Wall Street bets. We're going to be talking about our good friend over here. I think we'll skip that section though. There's a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about today. How it all is going to flow, including I want to talk about Silver Thursday. This was brought up, asked me to cover over here. We want to talk about it all. That's why I have over here the Hunt brothers. We're going to talk about it all, but how it unfolds, I don't know. Did you notice the price of silver, physical silver? It is about a $12 premium, right? Which is the real market. Which one's going to hold? This, by the way, let me just start over here. Is silver too big for Wall Street bets? This is what we're going to start off with. South, Brooklyn, Moto. Yeah, but big shout out over to New York. Big shout out to Brooklyn, though. Let's start out. Is silver too big for Wall Street bets? This is something really that we could kind of start. The GameStop's market cap, by the way, is tiny. Even with the explosion we've seen in GameStop over here, the market cap over here is about $22 billion. Is very, very, very small. What was it when they started positioning themselves into the trade? What was it? Less than a $500 million market. It's a tiny market. Now the silver market also is kind of small. What the silver market is, I'm not sure. If it's 750 billion or if it's 1.5 trillion, I don't know. But it's a lot bigger than GameStop, right? So Wall Street bets, couple of guys doing their thing out on Reddit. That was shots fired. It showed Wall Street. What did it show Wall Street? That we understand the game and we're coming for you. Now, look at that big gap down possibly on GameStop. Ooh, love the public markets not being able to enter and exit at all hours of the day. Loads of sarcasm over there. But let's be real. GameStop is not the war. We've been very clear about that, right? Is silver the war? Is Bitcoin the war? Right? Does Wall Street Bets have the power to run other markets, bigger markets? Are they letting us, the big boys, do what needs to be done out on the real battlefront on Bitcoin? This was shots fired. This showed everyone. The most important thing about Wall Street Bets and what happened on GameStop is that it showed everyone the game is rigged and they're going to change the rules. It's nothing new. We all knew it. It's just a reminder. That's what it is. This is going to be something that's imprinted on the minds of generations, all those growing up right now, all those hanging out on Reddit. They're going to understand the game is rigged, and when DeFi is built for them, rest assured, they're going to be hanging out on DeFi. Is Wall Street Bets even playing with silver, right? I don't think so. I don't think anyone that's invested or was invested in GameStop, and if you were invested in GameStop and then parlayed over to silver, let me know. But I don't think anyone that was really got involved in the silver trade. The silver trade is a lot bigger than GameStop. Is there going to be a look? Was everyone played by the hedge funds? By the way, do you not remember that the Wall Street Bets Reddit thread went private? As Slack took, as Discord took Wall Street Bets off the internet. Do you not remember that at the same time the Wall Street Bets on Reddit went private? What's up with that? Was it infiltrated? Do you think not? Then they come back online and they're like, oh yeah, we're not really after silver. No, we're not after silver. No, that's hedge fund FUD, right? Who are the hedge funds playing? Who are they playing? Are they coming after Bitcoin, right? Rumors out there that hedge funds are now short Bitcoin. Or is Tyler doing what Tyler does, really just working up some PR over here? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. If you're a hedge fund and you're short Bitcoin, good luck with that. Good luck with that. So over here, though, you have some moderators. By the way, Wall Street Bets is not some moderators on Reddit. No. It's a movement. It's the people. Right? So they're like, oh yeah, people are not following us and they're kind of doing their own thing elsewhere across the internet. So what? It's a movement. It has no face. Wall Street Bets doesn't need anyone. It certainly doesn't need a moderator on a Reddit group. All right, so what about silver? What's happening with silver? Let me show you what's going on with silver over here this morning. I'm looking at the prices of silver, and if you want to buy silver, oh yeah, silver, by the way, is the physical stuff. Right? Is this the silver market over here? We're looking at the price down 5.5%. It's trading at $27.40. Well, yeah, this is the paper market. We have to pay attention to it. But if you want to go out and buy silver today, it's going to cost you. There's about a $13 premium, a $12 premium if you want to buy. By the way, APMX, I've used them so many times throughout my life. Great company. Is it the best company to use? I have no idea. Coke or Pepsi. Find out what you want, where you want to purchase your but Peter Schiff? Oh, so what does that mean over here? Is the silver market, was that, hold on, Anthony. I sent them, go watch Dumb Money TV for the evidence. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Wall Street Bets is just like a tiny little ballotin. It's a small little, yes, group, small guys acting in big numbers. That's great, right? But where is that happening? Is that happening in Bitcoin? or is that happening on AMC? Is that happening in Bitcoin and crypto, or is that happening in GameStop? Is that happening in Bitcoin and crypto, or is that happening in silver? Yeah, there's a lot of people invested in silver, right? A lot more than in AMC, a lot more than in GameStop. There's a lot more manipulation happening over here, right? But we're looking just look at the fundamentals. Before all this nonsense started, I was looking at only the technicals and fundamentals on silver. That's what I'm calling. First, I was calling for this 2020 high to be taken out. We took it out, but then quickly rejected. Now, this happens often around all-time highs. This is not an all-time high, by the way. This was just the 2020 high. The all-time high was built on speculation. That's about at $50. Whether or not we take that in 2021, that's my base case. We take out $50, and then we trade somewhere towards 100. Let's see if it happens. Do we have fundamentals in play with the amount of stimulus being added, with the amount of green energy push that we're going to see? Absolutely. Do we have it in play with fiat currency being devalued? Absolutely. Right? Did this bring attraction? Did people that were already invested in the trade, did they add to their position? Probably. What's happened technically on the paper market right now? Well, we broke out. We took out that 2020 high, and then we saw the volatility taking us back into the 2750 support. If we hold over here and start resuming up, that looks like a solid entry to me. A solid place to add after that last conquering the markets entry down over here at 2650. So, if you're looking for like all of a sudden for anyone in any market to go ahead and break Wall Street and for a spike up, you missed GameStop. You really missed it. The guy who did his research in the beginning saw what stock was the most heavily shorted by hedge funds, saw that 130% of the stock was short, which is not even mathematically possible, and then went in for that trade and then started bringing everyone's attention to it. He made bank, right? When you started chasing the headlines and got all involved, what's next? Is it going to be some movie theater that's out of business? Is it going to be Blockbuster Video? You're chasing momentum. We don't chase momentum. We get ahead of it. All right, what else are we looking at? So that's silver. It's very important, by the way. It's very important to realize what's happening right now in the physical market. There's a huge premium being paid. If you want the physical stuff, it's just not available. Is this the last we've seen in silver? Did Wall Street win? Did those hedge funds with those psyops, people are calling them, whatever? It's just hedge funds doing what hedge funds do, spreading misinformation behind their positions. Did they get a lot of the small guys, uninformed guys out of this trade? I think so. It's my opinion that they played them. Oh no, Wall Street Bets is not going after silver. Don't come after silver. You'll hurt us. That's what I think happened over there, personally. What else? Let's take a look. Quick question over there, though, right? How should we play gold and silver ETFs? Is it SLV? Is it GLD? Look, these two, do your own research, but huge warning flags, okay? Huge warning flags. Yesterday, it was mentioned PSLV. This is Sprott Physical Silver, by the way. They just added, is this noise or is this signal? They just added 6.4 million ounces of physical silver today, right? Now holding almost 100 million physical ounces. If I'm not here to recommend any ETF to you, do your own research though. PSLV is one that I would absolutely research. Silver Thursday, since we're on it, and before we get back into what I want to get into, right? What do I want to get into? I want to get into the markets. Is this a dead cat bounce that we're seeing on the S&P 500? It doesn't look like it to me. We'll take a look at it. Nasdaq look even a little better. Dollars bid today. With the dollar bid, look at this beautiful. This is the Winthrop line over here. You can see that the breakout, the retest. This is the neckline, the trend line though. The retest and then resuming off of there. Beautiful. I want to take a look at what's going on with the dollar over here. What we're targeting next. I want to look why the dollar is up. Noticing that the equity markets are bid again. Right? Watch what's going on here with Bitcoin challenging our $35,000 resistance. Tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow is a huge day. By the way, I've registered for the MicroStrategy presentation. I can't wait to see Michael's keynote. It's going to be fire. Really excited about it. I might stream why it's happening. depending on the time. I might not. It's supposed to. Anyway, we'll get into that tomorrow. Look, Michael, when he was being interviewed by CZ, the CEO of Binance, he said, listen, the Binance platform is very confusing for institutional investors. It's very confusing because you come up there and you see like it's confusing for anyone. He said this is what the front page should look like in that interview. He said the front page should show Bitcoin trading versus every other currency, every other index, every other instrument, treasuries, and show how it's performed. If you look at exactly what he says the homepage of Binance should look like, as he's created this for all of the people coming into the corporate conference starting tomorrow. This is what the only two things that have outperformed in 2020, by the way, the only things that have outperformed Bitcoin is Tesla, right? Is Tesla. And what happens, and that's just the last 12 months, by the way, the last 12 months. What happens, but it's done pretty good in the last 5 years. Tesla's held up pretty well versus Bitcoin. What happens if Tesla adds Bitcoin to their balance sheet? Will Tesla continue to outperform Bitcoin? I don't know. It could. It could. If Tesla adds Bitcoin to its balance sheet, though, I think it's going to pull a MicroStrategy, and I think Elon's going to be targeting beyond Mars. He's going to go intergalactic. I really believe that. The other thing that's outperformed Bitcoin over here is Etsy, right? Where is Etsy? It's somewhere. What is it? Etsy's like where you sell homemade goods and products and things like that. I don't know why I can't find it. Hold on. I saw it yesterday. You'll have to take my word for it. It's hard to find the one little green amongst the sea of red, which is Bitcoin. But Etsy is a platform everyone's familiar with. In the last 12 months, that has also outperformed Bitcoin. Really neat stuff over there. In retrospect, it was inevitable. What else are we going on? We have an updated chart over here of the cycle. You can see that we've pulled back that 30%, as we've had in past cycles over here, right on time. Notice what happens over here. We're about 267 days in since the last halving. Look what happens in the past two cycles. The next 100 days or so is usually a run-up. Let's see. Although history does not repeat itself, especially with coded money and coded monetary system, it certainly does rhyme. Let's see if we start this run, and let's see if we start peaking up here, attacking 70,000. Are we going to have a false breakout over here? Listen, we got a lot of good stuff flowing this week in Bitcoin. Expect some headlines. Are we going to see this shot down over here, back down? Are we going to be targeting this area over here? Look, we look healthy above these two trend lines over here. We look even healthier, clearing above 35,000. Let's take out this new swing high, and then we'll be pushing new all-time highs after we take out that last swing high. But everything looks good. You're never out of the woods. You always expect that 30% plus pullback in Bitcoin during its bull market phase. Never get comfortable. Always be on the edge of your seat. What else? What else? So after CME's decision, what is the forecast for silver? CME raised their I don't know what you call it on the future contracts to 18%. To 18%. Let's take a look at that really quick because there's a history of this stuff happening. Let me just rewind really quick. Let me go off on a tangent with you. By the way, 526 likes in here this morning. Thanks for being here with me. I want to show you something called the silver bullet, the silver shield. Okay? Now, a lot of people were introduced to silver through Reddit and Wall Street Bets, and they have to start going down the rabbit hole. As you listen to these 20 seconds here, this intro here, and then I'm going to get into the story of what happened on Silver Thursday over there when the Hunt brothers, when they bid up the price of silver to $50, trying to corner the market, and then they received a huge $100 million margin call, wind up going bankrupt. We're going to see the game was rigged back then, and we're going to see the game is rigged right now. This was a good reminder of what happened. Replace when you hear silver with Bitcoin as you listen to this.
The two most common questions I get are how to turn back the increasingly corrupt system and how to financially prepare for a post-dollar world. This does not surprise me since fear and greed are the two most powerful motivators known to man. What will surprise you is that for once, the answer for both questions is the same. Buying physical silver is the greatest act of wisdom and rebellion that any American could and should be.
So notice one thing. He said buying physical silver. He didn't say anything about buying paper silver, physical silver. Now the author of this channel over here, Chris Dwayne, I believe it is. He back in 2012 sold his house. Was that the right trade? Bought a bunch of silver. Was that the right trade? He understood money. He understood money, which is why he did all this presentation. But his timing was way off. His timing he would have been much better, right? Doing one of two things: either holding on to his house, right, or he would have been way better off putting all that money into Bitcoin. He probably didn't know and understand Bitcoin back in 2011 when he was doing this research, right? That's all fine. Look what happens over here. Watch this story of the Hunt brothers. We're gonna look at it a little bit together.
Real story of the Hunt brothers. Unlike everything that you have heard, they were not out to corner the market to make some quick profits. They were out to do what you are probably doing today. The silver bullet and the silver shield is the idea that you should be selling all of your paper assets and buying real physical silver. This physical silver,
Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin,
will act as a silver bullet against all the things that are wrong with this world, and will act as a silver shield to protect your wealth. Quite simply, CBOT board members of having financial interest in the silver market themselves. Investigations later found that many had substantial silver short positions and were hemorrhaging money as Bunker sought to squeeze the market. Bunker knew that a shortage now existed, or they would not be screaming so loudly. He bought even more. The price on the last day of 1970.
Let me interrupt real quick. Did you hear what happened? Robinhood trading against investors. Right here we have the Chicago, the CME trading against silver holders. It all is a rigged game. They all pulled the carpet on them. Let's just watch a little bit further. This is super interesting. This is history, and if you know your history, you're prepared for the future.
Was $34.45. At this point, Bunker and Herbert held 40 million ounces in Switzerland and 90 million ounces of bullion they jointly owned through International Metals. In addition to all that, International Metals had contracts for another 90 million ounces due for March delivery from the COMEX. The younger brother, Lamar, had even entered the arena and had taken a $300 million silver position by the end of 1979. Finally, on January 7th of 1980, the COMEX changed the rules to only allow 10 million ounces of contracts per trader, and that contracts over that amount must be liquidated before February 18th.
All right, so did you see what happened over there? The same thing that just happened with Robinhood, prohibiting people from buying GameStop. The same thing over here, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, where paper silver is traded, the future contracts. As the Hunt brothers were taking the right side of the trade, they said, oh, we have to change the rules. It's a rigged game. You're winning. We have to change the rules. And it's to protect everybody else.
The CFTC promptly backed up that ruling. On January 17th, silver hit $50 and Bunker continued to buy. At that point in time, the Hunt silver position was worth over $4.5 billion, bringing their profits into silver at $3.5 billion. On January 21st, the COMEX announced that they were suspending trading of silver, they would only accept liquidation orders, and silver dropped $10 an ounce and stayed around $39 until the end of January. Scrap silver, old silver.
Let's take a really quick at some lessons learned over here. Let's take a look at some lessons learned over here. If you're not familiar and you want to watch the whole story over here on your own time, I linked this in the description below. I linked the original channel over there, the Silver Bullet, the Silver Shield. Absolutely excellent stuff over there. But with the talk about over here, it's not over here, some lessons learned over there. Watch this part. Always take physical possession, right? Hold the physical stuff. With Bitcoin, it's your keys. It's a digital product. You got to be in possession of your own keys. Keeping that with someone else who could, first of all, if something goes wrong, they're going to own the Bitcoin, or they could rehypothecate your Bitcoin, which is basically the same thing as a paper market. There's many good lessons learned in here. You should watch this whole video. It's how you educate yourself. It's important to be educated. Otherwise, you're going to be reading headlines and believing in them. Oh, no. Yeah, Wall Street Bets does not want you to buy silver, right? Because Wall Street Bets, because they're the general in the game. Because they know what's going on. No, if you're not educated yourself, you're going to wind up being on the wrong side of the trade, and it's going to hurt. All right. Anyway, let's go back. Greg mentioned, is GBTC, by the way, the SLV of Bitcoin? Listen, it's a good question. It's a good question. I don't have the answer to that by any means, but GBTC has absolutely been a great way to play Bitcoin within the public markets and within retirement accounts. Now, at the end of the day, if they don't actually have the Bitcoin to back it up, then people are going to get hurt. We'll see. I don't have the answer to that question, but it is a good one. Yeah, it's just me clicking. By the way, it's just me clicking back and forth between turning on the microphone and the system audio. If I show you a video and I leave on the system microphone, then you start hearing some clicking. I apologize for the smoothness. I hope the content and what's being shared with you makes up for that poor presentation. But either way, thanks for dealing with it. The Hunt brothers are way different than Reddit. Cornering the market. See, maybe. But I want to talk about that. Cornering the market, right? Is there something wrong with cornering the market? Right? Right. Has Amazon cornered the commerce market? Right? Are they allowed to do that? Listen, if it's a free market, it's a free market. It's only when it's not a free market that they get messed up. All right, let's keep going over here. Let me get back in, find a flow. I wanted to really share that with you because it's history. I think you should spend a lot of time on this channel reviewing what is shared over here. I think you should replace silver with Bitcoin, right? Silver is the Achilles heel. Take away their ability to create money. It's just all Bitcoin now. And whether or not Bitcoin will be the ultimate war, the ultimate battle, the ultimate kill shot, I don't know. I don't know. I hope so, but I have no idea. That's not what I'm not holding Bitcoin over here because I believe that it's going to become the world reserve currency. Could it happen? Yeah. There's about a 5-7% chance that could happen. Could Bitcoin overtake gold's market cap? Yeah, I think that happens next cycle. I think 4.5 years from now that happens, right? Where is that going to place the price of each Bitcoin? I don't know. But somewhere around $500,000. Oh, from there, what will the odds of Bitcoin becoming the world reserve currency be? Maybe a little higher, maybe like 14%, maybe 20%. We'll see. Right now, I am an investor, and I'm looking to take advantage of this 4-year cycle that we're seeing play out over here. We're right here, just to give you your bearings, right here, about 267 days after the halving. We are set right now for a massive up move over here on Bitcoin. You can see it playing out over here in the charts as we're trying to resume out of this trend line of this last consolidation that we've seen after this pullback of 30%. Everyone here was ready for it. Everyone here was ready for it. As we've been setting this trade up, not since Bitcoin started breaking to new all-time highs, on this channel down over here, when Bitcoin broke the model to the downside, broke this trend line, we were here accumulating, watching, making sure that we weren't going to come back. Because everyone was saying we were going to come back down and take out 3,600 over here. I was saying once we get above this trend line, from then on in, the next thing we're looking to do is get above this trend line, which connects the all-time high, the past all-time high of $19,500 over there. And once we break out over there, technically the bull market has begun. We've been setting this trade up for a long time. I feel pretty comfortable when I share with you what's going on, as I have a pretty beautiful track record. Not only that, on each wave, we've been there. We've been there with greater clarity than anyone else I've seen across the internet. Weigh on that for a second. Are we infallible? Am I human? You know what? I'm just trying my best to stay on the right side of the trade. I'm trying my best to keep you all informed and to take you there with me. That's what we do over here, right? All right, so what's next? Let's take a look at the markets. Bitcoin having trouble holding that 35,000 breakout. We said we need to clear above that 35,000 resistance. We spiked above all the way to 35,500 and are currently coming back. Still looks healthy, right? I like 34,000 Bitcoin a lot more than I like 32,000 Bitcoin. I feel a little bit more comfortable today. I'll feel really comfortable once we take out that swing high over there. Is it going to be off the news over here that Elon, that Tesla bought Bitcoin? I don't know. Just rest assured, though, rest assured of one thing, that in retrospect for Elon, he understands it now. Bitcoin doesn't need Elon, but Elon does need Bitcoin. The world's richest man understands that he needs Bitcoin. Chew on that. All right. What else are we looking at today? Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Are we seeing a dead cat bounce, or are we seeing us back up into the upper portion of this channel and looking healthy? We have some resistance over there. You can see the spike into that resistance. We have some resistance above us, not too far above us, over there at 3,830. Let's put that in there just so we could watch it. It's light, but it's there and it's real. Get above that, and then I think we'll go on to new all-time highs. All right, let's see what happens. Nasdaq, towards the top of the channel, also getting close to resistance. So we have the two indexes, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, both bouncing over here. Right, this is where Raul called the market was going to crash this week. Is it going to crash this week? I don't know. Let me pause over here as we talk about the markets crashing.
And investing, drinking a coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing. The prices might be slashing just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, Jordan in the room. Grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Flow from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
And it is Thursday in here. It's Tuesday in here, and it is Taco Tuesday. And if you don't know what that means over here, it's something that we started when this channel was probably about 30 people deep. When we would do this analysis every day with 30 people, because it's about quality, not quantity. And we like to talk about how, we do what we do over here. More money, more tacos. It's fun. And if you can't have fun, then you're missing out on life. That's all I could say. Listen, does Elon, laughing, right? Elon does not need Bitcoin. You think? You don't think? We'll see. Yeah. Elon understands. Elon understands. Why would the world's richest man, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, need Bitcoin? Man, you need to have further to go down that rabbit hole. You have to understand money. The first red pill I ever took in my life was understanding money. The creature from Jekyll Island, understanding the Federal Reserve banking system, the fractional reserve banking system, understanding that money is debt and why and who creates it and who controls it. If you don't understand that, you are far behind the game. What else? That's right, Shane. It's Taco Tuesday. Some people just don't get it, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, he does need Bitcoin. Elon needs Bitcoin. Yeah, so, and he's going to go get it. He's going to go get it. That's Red Pill 101. The Money Masters. There it is. The Money Masters. Yeah, I would like to. I would like to. I'm registered for the conference. I think I'm going to be live streaming it. There's a presentation that starts at 11 o'clock a.m., and I'm not even sure what time zone that is. I'll assume right now that's Eastern. Eastern. That's the opening, and then a half hour later, Michael presents. I'm not sure which portion I will be live streaming with you all or taking a look at, but I'm interested to see Michael speak. That's for sure. Right? All right. Elon wants your Bitcoin. Is Elon on your side? Either way, just last thing. I'm going to have a little bit more fun before we start looking at the markets hardcore over here. I'm going to have a little bit more fun and Elon over here. Boom. And I love it. Some people are not into the fact that I would play some meme, cartoon on the channel. Listen, I love you all, and I'm grateful for you all, but I'm going to always stay authentic and do whatever, whatever attracts me, whatever gets my mind going, whatever I believe is the most important thing to focus on, and whatever helps me most with my investments. That's what I do. I'm happy to share it with you all, but I'm not a people pleaser. I'm not here to, so you're either in on it or you're not. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I want to take you with me, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All right, where else are we going? This is the way. This is the way. All right. So, meme. I know, meme. Weeping Angel, great to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Great to see you over there. Is QE just a hitting tax? Is inflation a tax? QE is deflationary. Man, if you bought that line from the Federal Reserve, you are way behind. If you bought that line from the Federal Reserve, talk about misinformation and psyops, you are way behind the game. But that's fine. That's fine. And thank you all for dealing with my imperfections, my pronunciations. Thank you all for dealing with my meme. How could you not laugh when you hear meme, right? But anyway, maybe it'll catch on. I'll get my kids saying it. They'll get their whole school saying it. We got a big tribe. We got 5 little kids and 1 on the way. I'm pretty sure we could get, all of Mexico saying meme. We'll see. Michael's speech is tomorrow. Michael's speech is tomorrow, right? Is that right? Hold on one second. It is meme in Latino. Well, I consider myself, to be part Mexican. I've lived here 8 years, so that's fine. Whatever. Embrace it all. Have fun with it. Life is beautiful. Life is a gift. S&P, I have to say, this has been a pretty big snapback over here on the equity markets. Look, over here we had to be cautious as we were coming into that support over there, not just on the S&P, Nasdaq breaking below it. We were all cautious over here, right? But I did very, 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 very clear. I was very clear. I did not think that we were going to even see a correction at that point. Here we are, all right? So dollar, let's take a look at the dollar this morning. Let's get our bearings. The reason I'm looking at the dollar is simply to get my bearings over here. And we're going to start with there, and then we're going to get across the markets. I don't see, by the way, a bid into any safe haven assets. I don't see a bid into the JPY. I don't see a bid into the Swiss franc. We're not seeing any of that. I feel pretty comfortable about the markets, about the liquidity, right? About the liquidity. Come on, the liquidity. The Fed is out there buying $1.4 trillion of securities, right? Government.gov is out there stimulating everything they can. We have not just the Federal Reserve, the ECB is almost on par with the Federal Reserve in their amount of QE purchases. There's a lot of money out there. How many dollars were created last year? Was it 30 or 40% of the total supply? I don't know. You can't run a node. You can't track it. But centralized system, a lot of them. What's the dollar doing? The dollar is bouncing back over here, broke outside of that trend line, confirmed that support, and is resuming off of it. It looks like we're testing into the resistance now between 92.12 and 92.50 next. That looks like the next move, and that's our next target. We'll see if we hold over there. If that's a place to look to sell, that's a strong area of resistance. In downtrends, we look to sell resistance. Right now, in the break of this outer trend line over there, we've gone from looking for that continued dollar weakness to now looking for a counter trend move on the dollar. Whether or not we're going to see a real, black swan event crisis that would send the dollar back up past 94.75 and above, it doesn't look like that's happening right now. Right now, we're just looking for a bounce to sell resistance, but sideways and going nowhere fast is what's happening, not only in the dollar, but across the currency markets. That's something to pay attention to. We'll look a little bit across FX in a little bit, just so you get a clearer view of that. Gold is definitely under pressure today. Gold had a little bit of gold over here was looking to break out above this trend line over here, this inner trend line. This thick one over here is the outer trend line. Break above it, the move has started on gold, right? Break above that, the move has started on gold. I have this small little trend line in here, a past trend line that I was working with because it's in play. You can see the resistance. We broke above it, but never able to resume off of that. Let me zoom in. Broke above it. Hey, there's a resumption. There is a resumption. People could have taken a long ride over there. Not really, though, right? Why do I say not really? Because here's a bar above it. The next bar, look at this. The next bar came down, right? And we closed down over there. Is this an entry over there? That's not a retest. That's not conquering the markets any day long. But here you see the retest, never resumed off of it. Back down below this channel, but down into this area of support over here. at 1834. Let's see what happens. Hedge funds, check mark for the hedge funds running that disinformation campaign against the internet, telling people that no, silver's not the play. No, they're trying to trick you because they're long silver. People don't understand if the silver market breaks, Wall Street is taken down, right? Yeah, so you have a few funds positioned long on the silver markets, as they should be, right? So there's also, by the way, there's also hedge funds out there long Bitcoin. Should I not get involved in Bitcoin? Just fair money because some hedge fund is involved in it? Come on. That gets, excuse my language, that gets stupid. So anyway, I'll back off Reddit and things like that. But that's small time. Reddit is small time. Yes, collectively, if you get enough people behind taking the same trade, that adds up, But don't forget, GameStop was less than a $500 million market that they played with. That's small potatoes over there. All right. So what are we looking at over here? Silver. Silver down, bleeding right now, down 6.6%. But if you look at silver, let's look at silver on a weekly. Right? Let's look at silver on a weekly over there. Still looking strong. Everything here is looking strong. Is this just a lot of volatility, a lot of shakeout? Let's see what happens over the next 24 and 48 hours. Let's see what happens. What would the downside be here on silver, right? Are we going to come back down below the breakout of this trend line, below $25? Something is definitely ugly and wrong if that were to happen. If that were to happen, things are looking, you have to rethink if you are invested in silver, whether you've been holding an SLV position, whether or not you're holding a PSLV position, or you're trading paper contracts. Something's wrong. Right now, holding above 26, super bullish. Coming in there, retesting that, resuming off, super bullish. Or if today we close above 27.50, super bullish. That was the latest resistance, coming in right now to see if it holds as support. A close above 27.50 today, that would say, all right, let's take another look back up at $30. All right? Don't get emotional. Do not get emotional, right? Yeah, so George, Wall Street, listen, follow me. If you're running a movement, though, and then you start making it all about you, is it really a movement? Right? Satoshi, did Satoshi do that? Did Satoshi went out and start this amazing movement surrounded by money and then be like, look, I'm Satoshi, follow me? Or was he like, let me disappear because I started the movement, right? So now we want, please everyone follow me on Twitter. Twitter is now the official spokesperson for Wall Street Bets. That's what's being said, right? So it's up to you. Wow. Do you wake up for the London? Hey, Bear. No, I don't. I trade only during London in FX. I don't wake up for the London session. Before going to bed, I set stop limit order. I set stop limit orders because I use MetaTrader 4, and that's you gotta work with whatever you're given. If you're using Oanda connected to TradingView, you're just setting limit orders. But I set those orders before going to bed, and that's what makes life easy. It's how I do it. More snow. Good thing you left the Bronx. I was born in the Bronx, but only spent a few years there before moving out to Long Island, right? I never understood why everyone else in the country calls Long Island, except people that live there, but that's what it is. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin over here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin coming back up to challenge that 35,000. We want to see Bitcoin trade above and hold 35,000. That's going to be that last resistance signaling this breakout. And then the next piece of work we need to do is over here at the 38,000. We need to take out 38,000, make a new swing high. And at that point, it looks like we challenge the all-time highs, get above there, go into price discovery. How long has it been since this pullback started on January the 8th, right? So it's been about 25 days, more or less. 25 days. That would be a very short time to recover. By the way, as these pullbacks during the bull market phases recover, usually the upside is very quick. It's very quick in big candles. You could see a 30% drawdown recover in just 3 days in past market cycles. So just to have that a little bit of awareness. Should you be worried and watch your downside? Always be prepared. What else? Ethereum over here is looking super solid over here. Is Ethereum getting ready to make another breakout versus Bitcoin? When I say versus Bitcoin, I'm going to look at Ethereum Bitcoin in a second, right? But versus the dollar over here, Ethereum looks very strong over here. It looks like Ethereum, as it should during this point of the cycle, is going to continue to lead. That's exactly what we want to see. That's exactly what we want to see. How do you play this? Do you take the breakout over here right now? I wouldn't. Right? Do you wait for a breakout, look for a retest and/or consolidation, next leg up? That's your safer trade right now on Ethereum. What about Ethereum, Bitcoin? These two have been battling out, right? These two have been battling out as both consolidate. Notice, though, by the way, Bitcoin had this 30% drawdown and then is sideways, but is off the all-time high against the dollar. And notice how Ethereum also had a 30% drawdown. I don't know if it's here or here. Well, let me see. Just so we're on the same page. Ethereum had a 33% drawdown. And then someone was asking, where's Kips earlier in the session? I don't know. 28%. I think that it wasn't appreciated that I was focusing on the trade that's most important to me. That's all good and fine. And then there we are. Notice how Ethereum is consolidating towards the top. Why Bitcoin not? Right? Bitcoin towards the bottom of the range. Ethereum towards the top of the range. Ethereum continues to look stronger over here. Did that happen down over here in late December? Come over here to late December over there, right? Late December, you could see Ethereum, Bitcoin was pulled back a little bit further. Watch the top of the mouse where it was consolidating, and now watch that same thing on Ethereum. Ethereum was consolidating towards the top of that area at that time a little bit. Bitcoin pulled back a little bit further. It's similar price action to what you're seeing right now. Is Ethereum going to be the leader here? And will you see Ethereum, after breaking out of that consolidation, continue to make new highs versus Ethereum Bitcoin? Or are you going to see Bitcoin explode higher and lead the way? And then are we going to see Ethereum and altcoins catch up? And that's when they make their explosive gains. You have to be careful right now. You have to be careful right now if you're trading alts and Bitcoins, because as Bitcoin is getting ready to lead the way up, you could see altcoins versus Bitcoin, right? I'm not calling about right now. I'm seeing Aave Bitcoin. This is not what I'm talking about. Off 6%, right? That's really not what I'm saying. But if Bitcoin breaks out, could you see that come down much further? You can. That's where you need to be. That's where you need to be worried. That's where you need to be concerned right now. If Bitcoin is going to lead the next leg up, then you want to be positioned into Bitcoin and then position back into the DeFi alts after Bitcoin makes this run, giving them the chance to play catch up. And that's how you do the dance during this portion of the bull market phase. We're seeing Cardano spiking up higher. This is versus Bitcoin over here, by the way. Versus the dollar, it's also running even higher, right? Brandon, Crypto Trades and Tech. The channel is featured on my YouTube channel. Has been a proponent of Cardano way back over here, right? Talking about its journey towards $1. It doesn't seem so far off now. Well, we're going to see Cardano hitting $1. Do follow Brandon and his content over on Crypto Trades and Tech. He is conquering the markets to the core. Litecoin also getting ready to break out over here. Litecoin generally follows Bitcoin very closely. When Bitcoin's making its move and doing the hard work, Litecoin is involved, and then you start seeing the flow down to other cryptocurrencies. Jordan, it's worth trading my sleep every weeknight here. Thanks for being here down under. We got a huge Australian community. I'm glad that you're here with us and sharing this time. A lot of you people are watching the replay right now from all over the world. Welcome. I'm glad you are here with us, right? So yeah, is Cardano going to move? Is Polkadot, is Uniswap? Seems like it can't stop. Uniswap can't just stop. I won't stop. A little bit of Biggie, Anyway, it all looks good. It all looks good over here. What else? Yeah. So listen, the thing about the bull market, right, is that bull markets climb just this wall of, let's call it FUD. It's what it is. There are coordinated efforts to get your Bitcoin. That's true. There are funds out there who are spreading misinformation. They're not positioned enough into Bitcoin. want to be positioned further into Bitcoin, they're saying things like Bitcoin topped over here. Bitcoin topped over here because the Chinese miners, right? Listen, regardless of whatever's happening over here, right? Whatever noise is happening over here, are miners manipulating the price of Bitcoin through hedge funds? Yeah. You know, what happens if the S&P 500 puts 1% of their balance sheets into Bitcoin? Boom, $80,000 Bitcoin tomorrow, 70,000 Bitcoin tomorrow. What happens if they put 10% in? You know, Square put 5% in, 5%. That seemed like a weak move. Have they increased their position? You know, MicroStrategy went all in. They went all in. I don't know. Anyone understand Bitcoin? Do you put 5% of your portfolio into Bitcoin? Not me. I understand Bitcoin. Everyone knows how I've been positioned into this trade, right? From way back when. Everyone knows the work I've put out there on the Bitcoin playlist on this channel. A lot of people know and understand Bitcoin for the work that's been done over here. So if I'm not talking about, you know, commodities right now, and you know, is 2021, as we see this inflation, going to be the year of the commodities? But if I'm not focused on like 20% gains, because I'm focused over here on what, you know, 400% gains and just getting warmed up, excuse me, you know, but whatever. I'm going to do what I do, and I'm going to do it well. Listen, if we got some manipulation going on here by hedge funds, and is a 30% pullback in a bull run manipulation, or is that normal, right? You know, what happens if the S&P puts 10% of their balance sheets into Bitcoin? Bitcoin's breaking $100,000 pretty quickly, and is 10% what we're going to see? How much will Elon put of Tesla's money on the balance sheet? That will be the big signal. Let's see. And then what happens to Zuckerberg being left behind? What is he going to do? The Winklevoss brothers, by the way, I can't wait to celebrate the day that their net worth is bigger than Mark's. That is going to be some poetic justice over there. So I'm looking forward to that. Don't worry about it. Focus on what we focus on. Focus on Signal, right? Yeah, so what's the difference? This is a good question. So what's the difference between Ripple selling XRP, right, to fund their company, to unexpected retail, and miners selling Bitcoin to maintain their miners? Well, the company Ripple just like magically poofed, made that XRP appeared. If you want to mine Bitcoin, it costs you money. It's energy. Bitcoin is basically an energy network. It costs you money to go ahead and verify the blockchain, and you receive a reward of Bitcoin for that. So there's a huge difference between just creating billions of XRP and then selling it, and having to mine Bitcoin, having to produce the equipment, and then pay for the energy that mines the Bitcoin. Big difference. But good question. Good question. All right, where are we at? So it's not just you know, the majority of the population. A lot of those in the space do not understand Bitcoin and its 4-year cycle. A lot of people don't understand the markets. That's what makes the markets, right? That's what makes the markets. Look, you could say that the people with the biggest platform, this is Conquer Trading and Investing. Over here in February, I think we had maybe, I don't know, did we have, 1,000 subscribers? And over here, it's all on the channel, and the deleted videos from YouTube are on LBRY. We have all the content, crushing this, being prepared, watching what was happening across the world in China, understanding the virus was spreading, being able to foresee trends, understanding what that was going to mean for the markets, talking about it before anyone else. Macro Voices, the only other place that I know, right? And then over here, crushing this. And then you get a lot of people, the markets are crashing. FedEx, right? I took about 7 different trades to catch the low over here. Yeah, I exited up 250 and 350 S&P points, because that's a lot. That's a lot to make within a few days or a week's time, points in the S&P. More than most people make in decades, right? So backed off over there, right? And then what happens? Don't know what's happening over here. Are we going to come in and test 2,300, 2,600, I said? Or are we coming back to 4,100? I didn't know. right? And then afterwards, listen, no one short the equity markets. It's basically forbidden, right? Over here at this time, though, what was going on elsewhere? Finance 2.0, the guys with the funds who speak like this, and they use some language that you're not familiar with, so they sound smart. They make something sound very complicated to make it seem complex and if something is complicated, you know what? If you can make it simple and understandable, then you're a genius. If you just make it sound complicated so people can't follow and understand you, and they're just like, oh yeah, that guy's smart, then you don't understand what's going on. They were looking for the market to crash, for an insolvency event to take us back down, take out the lows over here, all the way up here, here, every couple of months, calling again for that insolvency top. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Eventually, maybe they'll be right, but I don't foresee that. I said, we'll see if I'm right. I said, listen, the next crisis might not be somewhere out to 2023, 2024, or even as far as 6 years away. There will be another crisis. Janet Yellen, there'll never be another crisis in our lifetime. There will be another crisis. It probably will be manufactured. Money masters, watch the money masters, understand the battle that you're fighting, why, who the players are. There will be another crisis. It probably will be manufactured. It probably will occur once the Federal Reserve has the digital dollar ready, and they're ready for people to make the move into the forced move into the digital dollar. How will they force it? There's a crisis. Go ahead and download from the App Store. Apple's going to allow it. Google's going to allow it. You could download the Fed app, and then we're going to give you money. Don't worry, we're going to save you. There we go. So what else are we looking at? Bitcoin is the trade that matters. So anyway, I got off on a little bit of a tangent here this morning. We almost got up to 1,000 likes, a little short. It's a little early though in the session. Tomorrow is going to be a long session. Tomorrow might be a marathon session because we might be covering live this event over here from MicroStrategy. Tomorrow might be a marathon session over there. Look at that. That's beauty, right? Breakout. Resumption, another retest. We often talk about you could have another retest of that trend line. That's good and healthy. You can see it. I don't like public markets because I missed my entry over here on the gap. I don't like it. But then it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful, right? It all looks good and healthy. I do not see any signs of an insolvency event occurring and happening right now. But then again, you all know that I'm not looking for clicks and I'm not looking for engagement. I'm just looking to be authentic, and I'm looking to share with you all what I believe is the best way here to conquer these markets. Keep everyone on the right side of the trade, be very risk adverse, and understanding what is going on around us. That is what we do. What else? We have some tech guys coming to the house today in a little bit. That could be any minute. If that happens, they're going to get off a little bit earlier than normal. But yeah, this is not something that we do in here, but this is something that you should be aware of. Something that if you feel like searching, this is real, right? Bill Gates basically owns the most farmland in America, right? Find out, follow the money. Is it just Gates alone? What's going on? But that's fine. That's not doesn't really involve us. Thank you for that, the Orange Cowboy, by the way. This is a lot of people on this channel have been telling me, listen, we really want to hit the like button twice. And a lot of people have been saying, listen, if you just copy the share button on the YouTube channel after you smash the like button, that's a signal the algorithm picks up. That really helps the channel. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. What else are we looking at today? Maybe not. Listen, here's how I wrap up Wall Street Bets. It was a skirmish out on the battlefront. It was a real event that really is going to help a lot of young people go down the rabbit hole and understand that the game is rigged. It's nothing new. The game has always been rigged. It's a rigged game and a rigged system. You have to play within that system in order to go ahead and conquer and thrive, right? You can't do that unless you understand the system, right? Bitcoin, watch the silver bullet, silver shield, Replace that all with Bitcoin, and then you'll be on the right side. The money masters, this is the way. I would love this to be a big slogan of the channel, right? This is the way. So what else? Thank you for that. Thank you, JT20. Thank you for that. Thank you, Heath. Thank you for that. Thank you, everyone. Like and shared. We love it. Let's take a look at WTI. One of the best trades that I covered in 2020. Absolutely crushing this. Crushing this. So anyway, I take joy in that. And I should. There's nothing wrong with that. I have a problem with humility where it's hard for me to take compliments. That I think that's wrong. I'm trying to work on that. But there's nothing wrong with me saying I crushed the S&P. I crushed oil last year, right? So what else happened over here? As we got into this channel, somewhere around July, I basically, or earlier, excuse me, somewhere right over there. Over here, this was June, I basically forbade everyone from trading oil, and then it went sideways for months. Could you imagine being stuck in oil during this time over here? There were 3 trades within that range that I pointed out. And then once we broke this channel, this downward sloping channel, I put out a couple of targets out on oil. I said the first thing that I would be targeting over there was 49, and then above there, 54. Said take profit before you even hit 54, just because you don't need to get cute. Since then, we've consolidated, right? Another leg up right now. Targeting, we got some strong resistance at 56, 54. It's not exciting. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of QE. There's a lot of money that needs to find assets. Guess what? Oil's a commodity. Inflation's real. You're going to see, I believe, continued higher oil prices. Is the demand there right now? No. Our economy's on lockdown? Yep. Will they be coming out of lockdown? Very interesting, being that I was one of the first to cover the what was going on with the virus and its ramifications for the financial markets. Really important signal to pay attention to right now, Israel. Israel on heavy lockdowns. Israel has vaccinated almost every single citizen, and Israel is seeing a spike in cases. That's something to pay attention to. That's a development we want to continue to watch and learn from them and see what happens over there. So, yeah, at the end of the day, you're coming into a big area of supply over here on oil, and that's why I had the last target over there around that 56, 58, but it's not exciting right now. It's not exciting. There are other markets that you could be focused on and other markets that you want to be putting your resources to work at. The QE is deflationary. There we go. This is the way. This is the way. What else are we looking at? Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you for being such a special part of this. Gemma, what a blessing you are to all of us and to everyone. Grateful to be your friend. So, yeah. All right, Johnny Q. Enough with the, by the way, this channel just has, this is right now your first and only warning. We keep this clean. We don't play games here. There's no trolling. If we don't have time for it, especially this year, there's no time for it. We're about work. We're making sure that we're focused here. Listen, here's the thing about the markets. You're competing against people that are hungry for one of the greatest resources in the world, capital. You have the brightest minds working together, right? If you don't take it seriously, you're going to come and take your money. This is the only way it works, right? So right here, we focus. We don't have time. Fidelity, all brokers, right? Let's take a look at FX. So the first thing I'm going to do is glance over at FX, and I see that we have yesterday, almost everything was unchanged. We have a little bit more movement. That movement seems to be coming against the Australian dollar, right? But I don't see a bid into the Japanese yen across the board, right? I see right now consolidation. By the way, do you see that? This is what we're going to see everywhere, consolidation, all right? That means I want to stay away until we get a breakout. On the FX markets, it's not like crypto where you could get that clean break. On FX, it's always breakout, retest, resumption. If you don't get the retest and you get that 5% of a breakout or a breakdown that gets away from you, you just applaud it and let it go. No big deal. All right? But right now you're seeing consolidation here on the Australian dollar, Japanese yen. I'm going to look at the Australian dollar, US dollar. Same thing, consolidation. right? Consolidation. Is this an important trend line that we're taking out right over here right now, getting back below it, right? Could that be setting up a bigger move? It's too soon to call. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a better time tracking it. Right now, I just see consolidation. Nothing else. What about the euro US dollar? Taking a look here at basically the majors first, right? So this is, by the way, this is pretty negative event over here. We know that the DXY is breaking out, but here's a trend line, right? Here was the breakout, retest, resumption, and now trading below the low. That's a failed breakout over there. And yes, although this is a signal that we look for all the time, the consolidation and the trend line break, it doesn't mean that nothing is 100%. That's why, as a trader, it's all about risk management. 50% of your trades can end up in losses, and you should still be profitable. You have to push your winners. A lot of people struggle around break even. A lot of people who work with me inside Conquering the Markets struggle around break even, but they don't push their trades. They take their profits almost at the same level they're taking the losses. That's not how this works. What else? Let's take a look at the pound Japanese yen. That remains strong. That has taken out that resistance I was tracking at 142.24. Let's back out a little bit over. Let's look what's going on. Above this level over here of 142, by the way, this is setting up a potential move towards this trend line over here. It's a big trend line going back to 2008 crisis. It's a big trend line over here, a multi-year, decade-long trend line over there, and then to that strong resistance at 155. Is that what we're targeting next over here on the pound Japanese yen? Is the pound going to continue to appreciate after working out its Brexit deal over here? And you can see right now, after breaking out, it had a breakout. It came into that first resistance. It had the pullback and is resuming off, and now is consolidating again, getting ready for possibly its next leg up. So pound Japanese yen is interesting. It's the only interesting thing that I've been kind of tracking. US dollar is strong. Notice how the pound is the strongest versus the dollar. Like Ethereum versus the US dollar consolidating towards its highs. Here is the pound US dollar doing the same thing. What about this resistance level at 137.85? What happens if we get, that's the big trend line break. That was a big signal, right? Getting above here, getting above this next resistance that we're consolidating above with that strong dollar, pound acting strong, get above here. That really opens up some, upside potential for a continuation of that trend line break on the pound US dollar. So the pound is probably the most interesting pair I see inside the FX, as well as the New Zealand dollar continues to consolidate pretty strongly with that strong dollar, right? I'm seeing the Australian dollar a little weak today. Will the New Zealand dollar follow suit? Are we going to have a breakdown here on the New Zealand dollar? Because again, here's that trend line. Here's that consolidation, that descending wedge. Breakout, retest, resumption, second test. You know, it's iffy and it's sideways. So I'm seeing FX out of play right now. But, and here's the big but, it just means we're going to see some big moves in FX soon. Because this is what markets do. They go from expansion to consolidation, to expansion to consolidation. I say if you want to see the markets, you know, watch what happens in cryptocurrency, because you're seeing other markets that take months and years to play out so much quicker. And here's a perfect example: consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion, 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 consolidation. And here is the pattern of the markets. Now, markets tend to consolidate more than they expand. But right now in FX, as we're seeing that consolidation, that just means to me we're getting ready for a big move soon. So right now, you want to play it from the sidelines. You want to be observing, waiting till it's clear that we're breaking out for new legs, and that's when you want to step in and attack. That education, by the way, is free. Everything that we share here is basically free. It's to help you it's just to help you. So what else are we looking at over there? Cash and steam, but that pulling back now, Lawrence. You got to rev it up. Just like the markets, it's all about that consolidation and then expansion. right? Are the gold premiums never coming down? That's a good question. Andreas floating the Canadian maple leaf. By the way, Silver Eagles, Canadian maple leafs, Mexican. I don't know if they call them. I don't want to say libertards, but I think that might be what they're called. Listen, I like them all. I like my shiny metals. That's right. That's signal right there. This is a political free zone, right? And that's because if anything that's going on that would affect the markets, I'm going to discuss it. I'm going to address it. I'm going to make sure you're prepared. But this place is different. This place is special, and we just don't play those games here. Thanks for that. So what else? U.S. dollar, Swiss franc. That's a big one. Let's take a look at it. So yeah, it did break this resistance over there. This is kind of and just excuse my pronunciation, right? But the Winthrop trend line on the DXY, right over there. You can see that also on the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Let me just show you really quick on the DXY what I'm talking about so you understand. That's the same thing that you're seeing on the US dollar, Swiss franc, right? Playing out over there on the US on the DXY. Right? But into that resistance, you can see it right now. That's pretty big resistance. Let's see what happens over here. US dollar, Swiss franc. If the Swiss franc regains this, right? If it regains this resistance over here, look, this could go further. This could go further. Right now, it looks very healthy. If you were extending, if this was a head and shoulders, and it looks like a reverse head and shoulders, and you're looking for some type of target, where is that taking us? It's taking us back down. Let me make this a little bit darker. This resistance over here a little bit heavier. That's where it should take us into. Let's see what happens. And let me just clean this up. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. It's been a long while since I've looked at the Swiss franc, US dollar, Swiss franc, and it's a good one. What else are we looking at? Yeah, there are banks that are long silver. There are banks that are long Bitcoin. Should I get out of my Bitcoin trade because some hedge funds are long Bitcoin? No, right? Don't get confused. Don't get confused out there. Don't get confused. Right? Thank you everyone for spending the time. Thank you. Whoa. What Mexico is suing Majestic Silver. I don't know anything about it. This is the thing though about miners. This is the thing about miners and why they're really high risk speculative investment. I think right now you're seeing silver stocks outperforming the physical silver. At the end of the day, though, especially with these mines being located around the world, you never know what's going to happen with the government. You never know what's going to happen when the government is going to go ahead and seize the operation. It's all tricky stuff. I prefer to stay away from it. I go for where the high probability easy trades are. All of you brought this to my attention during this consolidation over here. All right, what else are we looking at? Thank you, Model 3 Life. Thank you for everything you bring and add all the time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, we're looking for Bitcoin to hold and break that 35,000 level, that small line of resistance we have over there. And then from there, this is our next objective, 38,000 and above. See if we could break it up. Could tomorrow be the day? There's big news tomorrow. This is a big event. You're talking about some Chinese miners and some hedge funds working together to try to suppress the price. What are you going to do? What are you going to do over here when public companies start putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet? What are you going to do if the world's richest man, right, and Tesla over here, is Tesla gunning for Apple, right? Could Elon, do not think for a second that these billionaires do not have enormous egos, taking out billboards on the 101, trolling each other. Do you not think that Elon wants the #1 spot over here? Is he going to be able to do that with Tesla and its business operations alone? I don't know. Putting some Bitcoin on the balance sheet, though, for sure Tesla is going to rock it. Let's see what happens. All right, everyone. That's it for today. We're going to go out with first of all, I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to play my track here from one of my all-time life best friends, childhood best friend. Wanted to go ahead and give back to the channel. Created the intro for the channel that we all know and love so much, and then spent a lot of time producing this for us. So being that it's Taco Tuesday, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this. Have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day, everyone. By the way, Conquering the Markets, Thursday will be our next live streaming training session. If you did not see the one last Thursday on trading Bitcoin lightly leveraged, the most important trade there is, go back to the CTM recommended playlist and watch that. Is absolutely gold. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing, the prices might be slashing, just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room, grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Throw from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
It's a taco day. It's a taco day.
Very, very, very big thank you to all the moderators. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your generosity in making this community thrive. Thank you for helping all of us enjoy the sessions. Thank you so much. I am really, really grateful to you. So, by the way, the theme song could be found on YouTube. Head Snack, Conquer Trading and Investing. Just look up Head Snack, Conquer Trading and Investing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a beautiful morning to spend with you. Everyone that's watching, have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you later.